What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Today we have an amazing matchup for you again in the final World Championship qualifier, Space Station Gaming versus Vengeful Noobs. If you missed the match yesterday, go back and check it out against Queen Walkers. It was phenomenal. Huge shout out to Supercell for letting me post this match as well. Let's see who's going to be victorious.
With our next match beginning now between Space Station and Vanguard Gaming, we have the opportunity for one of these teams to advance onward to Stage 4 and increase their guaranteed prize pool amount. With a win here now, VG Alex could get an undefeated surpassing of the Space Station lineup. But I will say Space Station is the favorite in our Twitch poll that we just held. It was a 3-1 favorite over Vanguard Gaming. I think that does stand well with the stats from the past, but it is not necessarily guaranteed for either one of them. Any given Sunday, or Saturday in this case, could be victory for either team. They're going to have to put it all on the line now as Alex is charging in with this hero dive to tee off for a balloon attack that is, instead of Lava Hounds, going to have Dragon Riders out in front. Itsu.
That's really interesting. He's even going to invest this rage to push this Royal Champion quicker into all of the damage, or like through all of the damage more like, with the Slammer early on, and he's using the Dragon Riders. What does this tell us? It means that the Dragon Riders are supposed to enter where the multi-inferno tower is, and he wants to use the Warden more on the right to take down that defending Queen. That's where he starts now with the second group of the Lalo. That's where he is going to add the Warden ability and the Warden itself. As I said, Warden ability now coming in to protect the Headhunter. Wait a second, Woody. There's only one Headhunter protected, and he's getting spring chipped away. That Queen might survive now on defense.
The skeleton spell that was dropped to deal with that Archer Queen's not going to be enough to keep her distracted. She's just about to get the lock onto the Grand Warden. One of the worst results for an attacker here now. Wow, thankfully he does barely survive, and that could be the clutch factor here in deciding this attack. As the balloons wither away, so do the defenses, and as the Dragon Riders left standing for the final assault, over a minute remains, and with just a few more buildings left, Alex has done it. This base is crushed, and thanks to the defeat of those enemy heroes and some clever positioning with Dragon Riders, VG Alex will start Vanguard Gaming off with a 3-star. So the lower is better there. It means that you are able to prevent a 3-star against your base more frequently. So double the defensive power, and in fact also a big offensive lead as well for Space Station, having picked up a 93% hit rate in Stage 2 against Vanguard Gaming's 68%. But it's these 5 attacks in this war that matter the most. pCastro leading off strong now with a battle blimp out in the bottom left with an early Eternal Tome to protect it as it paths toward that Town Hall. Might get a little distracted, pushed back by the Air Sweeper, but no Tornado Trap yet. Rage is down, they'll pop it out, and that Town Hall is going to get toasted.
Yeah, the Tornado Trap was actually at that defending Queen. We wanted to take the Queen down with the Headhunters, but the defending Tornado Trap actually rotated those Headhunters away from the Queen. Now he has to face that defensive Queen, and it seems like that the Queen is dealing way more damage than he was counting, because take a look at that. The Queen is now protected by the skeletons, and she's dealing so much damage, and the King might get way less value than he was expecting.
Yeah, and 360 no-scopes the Grand Warden too. He is just down for the count now, as pCastro will have no additional offensive support to throw onto those balloons. Still, the Queen charge up at the top side, even with a forced ability, has got some raged up healers looking strong and ready to knock down that right side compartment. With a single target Inferno in the center burning through enemy heroes, it's going to force out an invisibility from Castro to make sure that that World Champion can stay safe. Lassie out in front does her job as any good dog should. Takes that down, and with some additional pathing along the bottom, I think that this is going to be a 3-star secured for pCastro.
Wow, this is just impressive from Space Station. Like, playing those Lalo attacks completely different to a lot of other teams where they're splitting up the Lalo. They're playing like a Queen Charge Lalo attack because they're having the Warden ability with the small part of the Lalo already, and then they're having a second Lalo part around that Queen. This is just really smart, and I don't think that anyone on the defensive side has prepared for this strategy, and that's the cool thing. I mean, we're seeing the same strategy but played in a different fashion with different objectives within the attack, and this is really cool to see that Space Station came up with this I mean, it's Queen Charge Lalo still, like, it's the same strategy, but it's played different to what the Queen Charge Lalo we know over the last couple of months. So that's really cool to see that the teams are coming up with new stuff, new approaches to counter the base meta, and that was showcased perfectly. 3-3 after the first attacks each.
Vanguard Gaming is going to be moving in next with Nebo at the helm of this attack, and wow, has he really changed up the playbook for today. Finally going back down to the ground with a Golem to lead out for these 5 Super Bowlers. They are looking for a strike against a base, holding on to a lot of different spells, even brought an Earthquake in there, possibly to activate, or I'm not quite sure what for, but also a jump spell to hurdle over some of those tight compartments in the middle.
Yeah, and it's just really cool to see that we're finally seeing some ground. I mean, we have seen already Queen Charge Hybrid a little bit, but Super Bowl is not that much, even though they're just so popular. Like, if you're taking a look at Legends, they're one of the top 4 most used strategies if you're taking a look at, like, the top 200 or something within the Legend League. So, they're really powerful, but at the same time, not used that often in those pro matches. And take a look at that. This Warden needs another raid, and he has already crossed the 2-minute mark. This Warden Walk is already going on for over 1 minute. Typically, you say, okay, Warden Walk, as soon as you're getting close to 1 minute, it's already a little bit too long. And he's Warden Walking already like for 1.5 minutes, and now he has started with the Super Bonus. Time is going to be an issue, Woody.
This is often the problem that every ground attack comes into, especially when they are designed to go the distance, like Super Widgets or Super Bowlers. They have so many hit points, very beefy, and especially when you stick a Golem out in front, there's almost nothing that can kill them. The problem, in fact, becomes 3 stars within 3 minutes, and with Nebo having just over a minute left and still 60% of the base left to deal with, he's going to have to go lightning quick. Something that is very difficult when you've got a Lava Hound popping right overhead, and even with a pretty impressive spread on these Hog Riders, they are going to have to really target onto a lot of defenses very quickly in order to make it to the backside. I'm not feeling bullish about a 3-star here.
Yeah, the 3-star seems to be out of reach. Not even time is the issue, it's just power really falling short on this one. That might be the thing why we do not see those Super Bowlers too often on those anti-3-star bases. They're typically really incredible well on those Legend-style bases where the Super Bowlers have a lot of time long LAs to walk along, like long compartments. But in this one, it did really not pay off, and that is an incredible defense for Space Station. Below 70% is something which you have not seen too often today. And this means I think Space Station is going to be really happy about this one. And now I'm really looking forward to see what this next attack is going to be. We are seeing another Queen Charge Lalo. And Woody, it's 30 balloons overall. That is just an insane amount of balloons in one Queen Charge Lalo attack. I'm really looking forward to see how he is going to use them.
Yeah, very much more often in the past, we would see 3 Lava Hounds, 4 Lava Hounds in some old school attacks, but in the recent years, Lalo pushes have gone consistently more and more toward heavy balloon compositions, focusing on that big offensive damage rather than just letting those big floaty guys soak up shots in the meantime. I think the reasoning for that is that if you get the perfect pathing, if you have the ability to break down a base in your mind, if you know exactly where those loons are going to go, you don't even really need to wait for them to path over their targets. They're going to get exactly where they need to be right when they need to be there. Holding on to rages and freezes as well is a good way to boost up the speed and offensive power of those attacks. It's sort of an all or nothing approach, to be honest. If you have more lava loons, you're going to last longer, but will you have enough damage to get the finishing blow? Leo is going to roar, lion, roar straight through that left compartment and knock down the big town hall for the first star to be claimed. Following up with the Laloon strike up in the top corner. How's it going, Itsu?
Yeah, now it's again this Warden ability Lalo, or more like Warden ability just loons. It's not even a hound in front of those loons on the top side, it's just the Lalo with the Warden ability, and then sending in the Lalo from the far left side to push everything through the core, make sure everything is finishing on this back end compartment, and that's where the King is now coming in. He's sending in the King to tank this defending scatter shot, tank those defending defenses, and share the damage, because at this point it's important that damage is on his queen, damage is on his king, and this means the damage is split up, which is, well, not enough damage to take any of those two down, and this looks like another 3-star Woody.
Yeah, denying splash damage value is super important, especially when you've got something like an Eagle Artillery firing away at you. That is what killed our last attack from Nepo. Eagle Artillery at the very end side of the base, just raining down Hellfire for the entire attack. Instead, this time, Leo was able to redirect those blows onto heroes, keep them off the main packs of the attack, kept those balloons spread out, and there was really no way for the defending buildings there to be able to concentrate enough fire to take down this attack. Instead, Leo's going to have an overwhelming victory now with another 3-star scored by Space Station Gaming. That gives them the lead now on a 6-5 scoreline. That I don't expect to see reversing anytime soon. All right, let's hop into the next match now, where Vanguard gets another chance to come back over the top. And they're doing it again, Itsu! Onto the ground floor they have descended with Super Witches this time. Another slow-going attack, which has a lot of trouble passing the 3-star point at the 3-minute mark. But can they get it done against a base that is super spread out? Once again, it looks like Celinho's defenses are pretty well set up to handle this sort of strike. Big value opportunity for the Lava Launcher, though, getting lots of defenses down that are out of range. That is exactly the sort of thing that you want to see with Super Witches to start with. And if you can just get this Warden Walk to kind of cruise on in, there we go. That should be a Town Hall down.
Yep, that's right, and at the same time, the Flameflinger can now work all the way to the top right side. He doesn't even need to take down the tunnel with the Warden. He can just rely on this Flameflinger because there is no Builder Huts behind this Town Hall, so the Town Hall should go down somewhat quick. And then yet, at the same time, those Witches pushing in with those healers, with the Warden, with the Queen. But there's now the damage coming in, and as you said, time is always an issue with those troops. But with all of those open walls, this is something in his favor. During that time as well, the Flameflinger keep firing, and it seems like he won't stop because there's no expo close, and that means the Flameflinger should get a lot of more value. Wait, where's the one Super Witch going? Come back! No! The troops are splitting!
Far better to keep that firepower concentrated. At least she's got an Archer Queen to kind of help her out over there. Unfortunately, though, that Grand Warden is going to be losing out on some value. Only able to get 3 Super Witches over on that left side. Duel of the Archer Queens over on the right side. Gets a late free spell, but not too late. It is going to be victory for the attacking Archer Queen here now, as Davey from Vanguard Gaming is going to be making his way around, but with a big multi-target Inferno in the middle, kind of difficult to reach. He's going to have to rely on that one big boy who hopped the wall, as well as the Grand Warden to get a little bit of firepower over there onto that side. It does manage to happen, but with just 50 seconds left, he's really got to focus on speeding this attack up. Throw out that Royal Champion and get that shield going hard on that left corner, because we need a lot of damage really quick here now. There's those Builder Huts trying to get some value on defense, repairing those buildings, but I think that with the death of this Royal Champion, there is just not going to be enough firepower to finish this thing off, Itsu.
Yeah, that was unfortunate with the split up troops. I think the start looked promising. I was already about to say, are those healers now healing the Unicorn? That would be kind of funny. But the Town Hall dive with the Warden, with the Flameflinger, I think looked really solid. Just the follow-up with the Super Witches and the Queen splitting off into a different direction than he was expecting. Completely messed up the entire plan, and then the Royal Champion, without any support on the back end, really struggled quite a bit. So another strong defense now for Space Station.
All these top teams are relying on aerial hits, and so I'm really curious as to why Vanguard now twice in a row has come back in on the ground. You really have to have a good sense that the base is particularly vulnerable to something that can go all the way to 3 stars in 3 minutes. But, you know, as we're saying that, we do see a little bit of a mix-up here now from Marinaul bringing in a Golem to support this Archer Queen instead of the standard healers to top her off. He wants to get that Town Hall over on the left side and maybe even get some additional value with his CC pullout before he starts off with this Laloon. But I'm feeling once again that Marinaul has got a good opportunity here now to get to the 3-star, because he's brought a good army comp. He's got a solid plan attacking from multiple different angles in this first stage of the hit, and he ought to get down the key targets necessary to justify the value investment here. Town Hall is now under lock and it is about to be destroyed.
Yes, that's right. The Royal Champion even is protected with the invisibility spell to stay alive a little bit longer to take down those lava pups. Another invisibility spell used for that attacking queen, which, I mean, she's running now to the town of poison, so not more value on that side. But the Lalo has just started. It's 2 multi-inferno towers though, which he has to get through. And the Lalo starting from 2 flanks because he wants to make sure that this defending queen is taken care of. With those headhunters and the vulnerability, that should be no problem. And the defending queen is going down, Woody.
A triplet of free spells still yet left to use, and Marinaul is happy to distribute them aggressively now to help these balloons against those multi-target infernos. That last one still remaining in the center of the base will get the attention of that final freeze, but oh, not good timing on that freeze, unfortunately, as the balloons instead path toward the outside. Needs to get that haste spell down so that that middle section can be eliminated quickly, but honestly, he's got so much overkill now, I'm not worried about it at all. Marinaul looking for 3 stars now as the last defensive building goes down, and with a minute for cleanup, Space Station will get another triple and continue their march toward a perfect war against Vanguard Gaming. Up on the top and not going to surrender their position at the head of this hill. Space Station Gaming look cleared to advance to stage 4, Itsu.
Yeah, that's right. It's just, I mean, for me, it's just out of this world. I mean, we had the same thing happening at the time where Tribe Gaming qualified and then Strat. They were just statistic-wise the best team at that current time. And right now, I feel like the same thing with Space Station. I mean, in stage 2, they have not 3-star in one of the attacks. 14 out of 15 of their attacks were 3 stars. Now in stage 3, again, so far, they have missed out only on one of their attacks. And this one is going to be a Queen Charge hybrid.
Definitely want to give a special shout out to Marinaul on offense and now on defense, the captain of this Space Station Gaming lineup, having competed under previous banners including INTZ, with his crew of Brazilian barbarians fighting alongside him all the way through. It looks like this might just be their year, as on defense now they're going to try once again to hold off against a ground attack from Vanguard Gaming. The hybrid army is going to be miners and hog riders this time around, and has brought an eclectic mix of support here. That Siege Barracks is going to be even more firepower to help loop around the outer edge of that base, but bringing in a couple of headhunters too to help try to deal with that Queen and King duo over there in the left corner. Cobra has got a lot of work to do on this bottom corner, but with the Queen Charge still looking quite healthy, I think he's ready to kick it off into stage 2. Here comes the King, Itsu.
Yeah, here comes the King, funneling and pushing those hybrid troops into the scatter, freezing early, heal spell early as well to make sure that those troops are protected. And now we have to take a look. Are there spring traps? Yes, there's a lot of spring traps. Vulnerability can be used soon as well, and vulnerability nicely done to block all of the damage from the Eagle. But still, we have to take a look at the spring traps. The spring traps are one of the main sources in how to defend those hybrid attacks. But I feel like, is there even that many troops left? It's really hard to spot at this time.
Yeah, spring traps have been knocking off hog riders, and the Eagle artillery has just been sniping those little piggies one at a time. Splash damage knocking onto additional targets, but with that down now and focusing on the last couple of multi-target infernos, they are going to have the most important targets down. Scatter shot still remaining in that top right compartment, however, is just getting so much blasting damage off onto these attackers that even with a good strike early on, I think they've just kind of withered away. Interestingly, Cobra has really focused on offense this time, bringing rage spells to try to get that damage in fast as he can. More often, these hybrid armies, and particularly Hog Riders, favor heal spells because they just don't have very many hit points. If you play into a trap, especially a giant bomb, or get a bad trigger time on a bomb tower, you can really just lose your entire army if you don't have a heal spell to top them back off again. It looks like, unfortunately for Cobra, that is what has happened with this attack, as the Queen Charge on the bottom now is the only remaining offensive attacker here, and with 20 seconds left, too much base remains to expect a triple out of this one. Space Station Gaming with a 2-star lead into this attack will now lead up to a potential 3-star advantage with their next strike, Itsu. But let's go back to Bernaul now. The Space Station attacker is a veteran of this lineup, and one of the highest hit rate scorers for this team as well. And he is going to be going tried and true back to the Lalo with some queen charge support out the left corner. That Eagle Artillery has got a good chance of going down before it even activates, thanks to Bernaul's early attack out this corner. Dade from Vanguard Gaming not able to put up much of a defense against this clever sneak attack by Bernaul on the left side, which is actually going pretty quick and pretty strong. I think he's going to get some solid value here, and now deploys the lava launcher to get some additional shots off. Continues to send in coconut loons. Very good job there for Bernaul to protect those healers. Trying to catch a seeking air mine with those single loons that he fires off in the left side corner, but doesn't manage to get it this time. Instead gets a partial CC pull, and we'll have to deal with those headhunters with a free spell instead. There goes down the first one, and they'll be able to pop off one at a time, Mitsu.
Yes, that's right. Clan Castles do it as well, and take a look at that timing. No damage on this queen at all while taking down the Lava Hound. I mean, there is no more perfect timing than this taking down the Lava Hound. The mortar, which is supposed to counter that Flamefinger, is going down as well, and this Flamefinger is looking incredible value-wise from the top side. King and Royal Champ now into the Tessa farm. Queen charging into that multi-inferno tower. Yes, the Rager, but this again is looking really strong, especially take a look at that. That wall break. This is from a different world. Wall breaking in between of those two inferno towers and having access to the entire back end. Bernaul, how are you doing this? This is just insanity. This queen charge, wow.
Brilliant shots, but he's a little bit late to start off the loon charge here. Now he's just got 1 minute to clear off the second half of the base. I think he still has a good shot at making it happen, but he's focused a little bit more on finesse so far than that absolute power that we've seen from Space Station in the past. Nevertheless, the plan is going right off with barely a hitch. Tornado Trap does catch those loons, but that is to be expected, passing past the Town Hall. Does unfortunately lose quite a few of them here now, but with still so much firepower remaining, it's just a question of cleanup for the outer edges, and I think that he ought to have it now. Holding on to his Sneaky Goblin, and now pops that Archer Queen ability for a bit more extra DPS. Bernaul has got 28 seconds left, and the buildings are going down. One by one, they fall.
I think this has to be the attack of the day for me personally. Like, just this queen charge was insane. With those wall breaks, he has opened the entire base. I feel like the Lalo was like for 3 buildings. I mean, the town hall was even going down from that queen. This was really impressive to watch. The King of Queen Charges doing his thing again, and you saw in this attack as well why for pro players or for top players in general this siege, this Flameflinger is so broken. The Flameflinger took down the entire top side without even opening. No other siege has the same power as this siege with the Flameflinger. It's just incredible, and it nearly survived to the end. It was not even needed with the Clan Castle troops coming out of it to essentially get this 3rd star. So impressive showing by Space Station in general, by Bernaul in particular with this attack. And now it's back to Vanguard.
So it's up to Zaikor now, going back to the skies with 7 dragons, 3 dragon riders, and interestingly an Electro Dragon to get some chain value out on the left side corner. Moving fast early on there. The battle blip is down already for a strikeout out of the Town Hall. Zaikor has brought some Rage and Freeze common additions, and also a Skeleton spell maybe to distract that Archer Queen to ensure that she goes down without too much of a fight. But the CC pull has already started. It's going to be a Lava Hound inside trying to slow things down. Poison from that Giga Bomb has exploded, but there's nothing yet to deal with the CC troops. They're getting dragged to the top side now where the Queen is going to catch some Teslas early on. The main size of this force, though, is big enough to handle almost anything, especially when you're able to pop that Grand Warden Eternal Tome nice and early into the attack. That's often what we see with these big Mass Dragon hits, but it looks like Zaikor is going to hold on to it a little bit later, Itsu.
Yes, there we go with... And, oh my god, there's 4 ground skeleton traps popping up at this top side, so there's now an army of skeletons chasing this headhunter into the base, but those dragons are trying to push further, trying to avoid those traps, but there's now more traps coming up, and those double black mines were really hitting hard and making sure those dragons are disappearing slowly. More black mines and more dragons are disappearing.
Yeah, unfortunately, even with that invisibility spell out, he's going to soak some damage on that Dragon Rider from the Eagle Artillery, which is already shot. Zaikor now cruising along the right side of this base is finding a bit more trouble than he was able to account for now. as multi-target Infernos seem to be the bane of most of these raids when you have kind of a mid-sized army of dragons, or whether you're bringing super bowlers or super witches, as we have seen before, you've got to keep those freezes on point the entire way through, or else just bit by bit you will be burnt to a crisp. One of the key reasons why I think we see a big favor for Laloon attacks is that they go so fast and deal so much damage quickly, they can knock down those key splash defenses that otherwise would just deal so much damage over time and leave you hanging in the end. Zaikor still with a hope for the triple, but running a little bit low here. 40 seconds left and holding on to that queen ability. There's just kind of one leg left to the base, and might still have a chance to finish this off. What do you think, Itsu?
Yeah, the heroes are strong, we know that. The question now is if those 30 seconds are enough. Queen ability is getting used. That would be another 3-star for Vanguard if this queen is finishing things off, and that should be, I think, the case with the Young coming in.
It's going to be really close.
14 seconds, the multi-mortar is staying alive for now, but the queen has to chase in. But remember, all skeleton traps are gone, so this queen should easily finish things off. And that means it's 4 seconds.
There it is!
We are in already with the next attack. We're going to wait with that for a little bit longer, but Space Station, Celinho is in. Another Lalo attack, but this time a golem is in the mix as well, Woody.
Yeah, we've seen a few golems be brought in to support these queen charges early on. It seems like if you just don't barely have enough support to add in healer charges for the queen, you can instead bring in a golem out in front. That'll give it a lot more time to take down some key defenses up on the top side, and even if the queen doesn't survive until the very end of the raid, you can be relatively certain that with that golem soaking shots and with the unicorn even topping the queen off a little bit to maybe a single point defense like this archer tower, she'll still be fine enough to finish her job, which in this case is going to be getting that CC pull knocked down and finishing off this archer tower as quickly as she can. Royal Cloak is popped right there to make sure that all the damage is dumped in with 3 builders trying to repair that Town Hall. It is still not enough to overcome an archer queen with a mighty modified X-bow.
Yeah, the Lava Hound taken care of nicely without too much damage on that queen. Unicorn keeping her alive for now, so maybe she's going to be able to take down a few more buildings. And now the Lalo has started into that Eagle. Hound in from the bottom side, and one thing which Space Station has done a lot, they're only playing 1, maybe 2 Lava Hounds, and that's it. They're mainly playing Loons with that warning ability together, and that's again what they're doing on the far right side. Adding all of those Loons, just using the warning ability, and they don't care about the Lava Hound. Why should they? They are just adding those Loons in and having Loons engaging versus the last defenses from every single flank on this one.
Brilliant shots and not even having to worry at all about that single target Inferno when you've got a parade of balloons from the sky. So much overwhelming damage. He laughs in the face of red air bombs. Ha! 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 Celinho with another triple for Space Station. The overwhelming victory now turns into a perfect war! Space Station Gaming advanced to stage 4, hot with a superb finish now in this war against Vanguard Gaming. Congratulations to both sides here, as Vanguard will get to move on with 2 more opportunities to score that 3rd and final victory. But we can now confirm that Space Station Gaming is the first among the teams in stage 3 to be moving on, with only 1 more stage left between them and Helsinki, Finland, Itsu.